I know we're not supposed to say hello, but how do you not? Hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm just looking up a few questions. I don't have anything. I'll open up the comment section and I should be able to see if you leave me any comments. So if you have questions, now would be the time. Okay. So, oh, you know what? I forgot to I just this is ridiculous, but I just discovered that I can turn my phone on do not disturb. Yeah. I did that before and then I left it on do not disturb. I shouldn't be left alone with technology. It's kind of what we've determined. So by way of an update, my name's Cathy Tibbles, and I've been running WP Barista for 14 years, and we do WordPress. We do all things WordPress. And Thursdays, and I completely forgot today was Thursday. So, not like seriously, no technology, no dates. Like, I think I'm losing my mind. I'm getting some sort of prompt. Manage your live and see who's watching. Okay. View questions. Okay. Oh, did you know Instagram has like a whole new thing for lives? Cool. So please excuse the gigantic headset. This is not my favorite. I do not know why my speaker stopped working. Again, with the technology. So, and yesterday, I have a funny story to tell you. I was adding up because we from the 1st to the 15th, we were sending all proceeds from a particular product to, and I told my clients about it to the Red Cross for earmarked for Ukraine. And so I was adding this up last night, and then it was doubled by another company, and then it was doubled by Canada, doubled again by Canada. And so I was really happy about this. And so I took that whole number and I donated it. Like, seriously? Oh, I. So, it went to a good cause. There's that. I will address some SEO stuff today. So if you have questions, leave them below. I think I will get a notification of all comments. I'm on a standing desk now, and so I feel like as soon as I move, it shakes the camera like that. Yeah. Okay. So I wrote a book an ebook. It was like 50 pages on SEO in 2014, I believe. And I just rewrote it for 2022. And surprisingly, not a lot has changed when it comes to SEO. It's still Google trying to find the best websites and provide it to its users. As long as it is the best search engine, people will still use it. And that's what it wants because it's just a business like you and I. So the principles are pretty much the same. How to do it when it comes to using WordPress has changed a bit. So we updated some screenshots, added some examples, and that book is for free. It's on my website to try and gather emails from people so I can send you tips and tricks and my favorite websites and my favorite tools every week-ish. I'm trying to get better at emailing every week. This is the thing that I really admire about you guys as bloggers, that you do this content creation thing all the time. And it is so hard for me to do on a regular basis because I um, am doing the work for you guys. Like I'm working on, is it on in my business? Like you have something that you need fixed, we fix it. So I'm doing that. And what you guys are doing too, you have to work on your promotion, you have to work on research and writing and development and putting the stuff together and then making the recipe if you're a food blogger, or getting the fashion outfits or doing the DIY, and then you have to photograph the whole thing and then you put it on. People have no idea how much work is involved in being a blogger. I think everybody likes the, "Ooh, we can stay at home and I can work in my pajamas and it's going to be so great." And the reality is, it's a lot more work than you think. It is definitely harder, and to make inroads. Like you have to be really good at marketing, actually, if you want to be a blogger. Um, Facts, right? So SEO is one of the best ways that you can be marketing your site. So, especially if you have a site that's been online for a while, like mine has been online for a while, and I kind of want to grow and expand a little bit of our reach. And I post, usually I post from the beginning of the year because it's slower at the beginning of the year. So then I take time to do content creation. And then I post for a couple of months and then it dies off to the point where it's like once a month, once every 2 months that I get a tutorial out. And even with that, as soon as I start actually putting SEO principles to work, I get traffic again. Like I don't know how, because it's SEO at work. Like it really, really is. So, and the other thing is, when we talk about keywords, right? SEO is pretty much finding what people are searching for, writing an article about it, and then putting those exact words that people might be searching for in the article so that Google knows, hey, this is like the perfect article for this searcher. So not only do you have to do the right keywords, you also have to get the right intent. Like somebody who searches how to make something isn't going to buy it, right? Those are two different things. And so intent plays into it as well as the keywords. And then you take those words and you put them on your blog. The problem is that most people guess. And it makes sense because you know your audience, you have written to them for years and years, and you might have a relationship. And so you think you know what they're searching. And so you guess. So you're writing about a coffee table. So you'll write coffee table, DIY coffee table, or something like that. That will be your keyword. You will guess that that's the keyword. I'm going to say something strong here. You might as well not do SEO at all if that's what you're doing, if you're guessing, because it's the same as doing nothing. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Everybody seems to guess, and then if you go to Google and you search DIY coffee table, are you in the top page? Oh, and did you know that the top page is exponentially better than the second page? So instead of it just being like 10 slots worse, if you're slot 12 instead of slot 2, it's exponentially worse. I can't remember. I think there's like 400% or so less people will go to the second page than the first. Now that they have so many ads, I'm wondering if that stat's going to change. Hi, Laura. Hi. You know what? I forgot today was Thursday. I shouldn't be allowed to run my own schedule. So that is why I did not go live an hour and 2 hours ago. Anyway, we're doing the live now. We're going to talk about some SEO. Thank you for proofing the ebook for me. I so appreciate it. I think I was getting cross-eyed going through that book so many times. So, keywords. So I'm going to tell you how to find them for real. you could guess them and it could be accurate. There's a chance. There's like a 50-50 chance if you guess, but only if yeah, type in your questions, Laura, if you have like specific things you want me to cover, but it's only if you understand your place in the hierarchy of websites of where Google has indexed you, and you pick a word that is not the most competitive, because then you'll have too much competition, you'll never get to the front page. But it's not too general. You can't say coffee table. You have to say um, DIY coffee table with pallet wood or something. That's probably even quite competitive, but you have to pick something super specific depending on how popular your website is. So if you take all those factors, you might be able to guess, and then there's a 50-50 chance it would do well. But there's one way to make sure that it does well, and that takes too much work. But because it's like looking at all the competition, seeing what they've done for their site, and then seeing how they rank, and then seeing how old they are. So in some cases you can't do better than someone because for a particular keyword, because their site's older than yours or just has more content and blah blah blah. But if you find a keyword that has and you plug it into the search engine, the blind one, what's it called, incognito, so you plug that keyword in there that you've guessed, and then if everybody comes up is kind of on the same level as you, then you go to those sites and you see how long of a post did they do? How good is it? Does it have a video? Does it have extra rich snippet stuff in there? Like schema, like the recipes, the reviews, the books, all that stuff, all the little extra stuff that you can have. If it has that, then you know what you have to do if you want to beat it. But that's only if you guess the keyword and every single person in that top list is quite similar to you in traffic and age of site, optimization of the site, using WordPress, but having it optimized, having an excellent user experience, having it all fast. I think there's like 200 or something factors that go into everybody's ranking. So if anybody says that they can guarantee something, they're lying, or they're going to bump you up really quickly, and then you'll get penalized and get taken off the index altogether. And even then, I think Google's like pretty smart. I don't even know if you could scam your way to the top anymore. Anyway, so if you want to get a keyword that's a little bit easier than going to competition and guessing and then trying to guess more specific until you find a set of sites that you can actually compete with, instead of doing that, go to SC Optimer or Rank Tracker, or I'm going to get you the other tools that I use. SERP Checker, Uber Suggest is actually a really helpful one, and it's really easy to use. So here's what you do. You go to Uber Suggest and you type in the keyword that you're going to talk about, okay? And it's probably one that you were going to use if you were just guessing. Like in our example, it would be the DIY coffee table. And then it will bring up a list of keywords, and it will be the coffee table, and it will be what's most popular, and then it'll also have, and you pick whether it's going to be on mobile or desktop. Unfortunately, they're two separate searches, and the free version lets you have like a limited number of searches a day, so use them wisely. It's and also by country, so you can't do like North America on both desktop and mobile and kind of combine them. For that one, and most that I use, you have to actually pick, like, okay, I'm targeting an audience in the States on mobile. If you're doing, or responsive sites, because if people are DIYers, they're taking their tablet around with them and following instructions, something like that. Most people who visit my site, and I think I'm one of the rare ones because most people are on mobile nowadays, are on desktop, surprisingly. But I think that's because they're blogging, and so they visit my site while they're on desktop. But anyway, that's not normal. So you pick the country, you pick mobile or desktop, you type in the words, and you get a list. Then you also have, let me just go there so that I can explain to you, because they use acronyms, which are really hard to understand sometimes. I'm going to do coffee. Ah, sorry about the moving phone. I'm going to do coffee table. Okay. So, oh, they made it easier. Okay. So Uber Suggest actually says SEO difficulty and then cost per click and search volume. So in some tools that you go to use, it will say KD for keyword difficulty. Um, some other things. But usually there's a key somewhere so that you can figure out what their little acronyms mean. But basically you're looking for two things. In all of these, there's paid difficulty, SEO difficulty, which I'm guessing is organic SEO, cost per click, search volume. So you're looking for two things. You're looking for volume because you need lots of people to come, but you don't want everybody to come, because those slots are all going to be filled by like super popular DIY magazines and stuff that like you're not going to be able to compete with that. So you want a keyword that has some volume, and you want the SEO difficulty to be medium if you've had a site for a while. Like you can pick a medium one because they're usually higher. The ideal is if you have an easy to rank for, so it'd be green or something. And they're also 1 out of 100. So if it's in the 30s, it's easy to rank for. And so you take that easy to rank for word, make sure it gets traffic. If it gets traffic, then optimize for that. Optimize for that one. Then you take that word and then you go to ask the public. Is that what it's called, Laura? Ask the people? Ask Yes, ask the public. And then you type in the keyword, and then it gives you like this mind map of like all the questions that are currently being searched when it comes to that topic. And it's very helpful. And it basically gives you an outline. It'll give you all the questions like, where do I get the supplies for this? How do I put it together? Is there a video on this? Or can I sell this? How much is this worth? Like whatever the questions are that people are asking, you can then form your article around that. If you do that, that is an SEO optimized post. If you take the keyword, follow all the instructions in the ebook that I wrote that talk about, okay, the ebook has several sections, but if you go to the section that talks about how to use keywords, that is, now you've found the keyword. Keyword research is the number one thing that most people don't do, and it's the only way to start. It is step one. So I don't understand how people, I think they think they're doing SEO because they're like adding alt tags or something. But that means that the spider will be able to tell what your page is about because you've added an alt tag to a picture. But as far as getting it seen on the Google index for a search term that gets traffic and you are in the top 1 to 5, you're not doing anything, like, unless it's by luck. You might do it by luck. You might get to the top by luck. Like I've just happened to pick a word that is not super competitive and is actually getting traffic and is something that your audience is actually searching for. That's what you're looking for. Once you get the keyword, I guarantee you'll see results. Like then look at a post that you haven't optimized, and then look at one that you wrote exactly the same number of pictures, same video, whatever, the same number of alt tags. Like you had 6 pictures and they all had alt tags in the one that you didn't research, and then do another one that you have researched. Do it exactly the same as you always do. I guarantee you'll see a difference. Like you will see a difference. And if you have a brand new site that doesn't get much traction, it'll probably take longer to see a difference. Like you'll have to do that a few times a month. And now that I've been doing this for years, it takes under 5 minutes to do keyword research. So it doesn't have to take forever, and it can be done. And you didn't type any questions, Laura. I wonder where, okay. So I'll just quickly go over the ebook, and then you can go pick it up if you want it. There is a couple of sections. There's how to do the keyword research, and I mentioned a few tools. And the most important thing is that I go over the Yoast SEO plugin and how to install it and set it up. Because, oh, you're driving. Okay, yeah, don't text. So if you have a lot of people, this is the second mistake I see. Number one is not doing your keyword research. The second mistake that I see all the time is people think that they are good because they've installed a plugin, like they installed the SEO plugin. I I don't even know how to tell you this, but it doesn't work like that. Like, like I can't even think of a really good comparison. It it just doesn't work like that. Like you can install the plugin, but then if you don't use it, but I don't mean just use it on the page to get like a green light. You have to actually set it up right because it's the SEO plugin does so much in the I was going to say back end in the dashboard, like in the setup of your site. It does. Hi, Laura's daughter. um, it does so much setup so that when you install the plugin, it actually sets your categories, your tags, you as the author. It sets up your page, whether it should be an organization or an author. It sets up how to treat your images. It sets up your sitemap. It sets up like some of those basic things that you do once and then you forget it. So you only have to set it up once. Once the plugin's set up, you're good to go. You're golden. But if you just installed it and didn't do the setup, grab this ebook, download it, follow the steps. I go through every single thing that you actually want to look at, and I tell you what to do with it. I think that's it. I felt like I was in the middle of a speech. but it's yeah, that's it. That's the end of my speech. You need it set up. So you need to do your keyword research and set up your plugin. But even if oh, that's such a good point, Laura. Everybody thinks that if they get green lights, that they've optimized their post. And you know what you've done? Okay, now I'm excited. That green light means that whatever you told SEO, that you told the plugin that you were optimizing for, like if I'm optimizing for coffee table, okay, I'm never going to get there because of all of the DIY blogs and huge $1 million publications that are out there. But I think I'm going to optimize for coffee table. I plug it into my the little panel and I work until I get a green light. And you know what that means? I'm perfectly optimized for coffee table. Who's going to see that? Nobody. Like that green light is only important if you've done your keyword research. The green light means you have perfectly optimized for the word that you told it you were optimizing for. Plus a few other things like it might be a long enough post. Well, long posts are good no matter what your keyword is. So some stuff like that. Readability, that it doesn't matter what your keyword is. Well, it kind of does. Like who cares if it's readable if nobody ever sees it? Right? Like do your keyword research. And it really does only take a few minutes because once you type that into the tool that you're using, you get a list of the words and then you just skim down the list until you find your 30%. Like once you figure out what percent you're looking for, then you know. I almost always, because I'm writing about geeky stuff, it's not hugely popular. So I always go down and look for 30-40%. And I always look for something over 1,000 hits because it's way different than Google. So instead of 1,000,000, it'll say 1,000 or something. But basically it's relative. So for the ones that I'm looking at and the tool that I'm using, I know now I need 30% and I need about 1,000 hits a month. So now it takes me seconds to go through that list. So it is doable. I hope that you know it's doable. That's my point. Okay. We talked about my ebook, so go get it. And most importantly, use the the couple of pages in there on setting up the SEO plugin. Number 3, do keyword research. Do keyword research. The other thing is, especially if you're not using the premium version, with the premium version of SEO, you can plug in a bunch of different things that you're optimizing for. Great, perfect, whatever. If you're using the free version, I very rarely get a green light and I have my posts optimized for search engine. The reason this is true is because number 1, my posts aren't easy to read because they have big words sometimes for tutorials. And so I don't try to get a green light. Well, I do. I like, it's an art. Like I skim my posts and I think they say like grade 5 reading level, grade 7 or something like. Anyway, so I try not to use big, long run-on sentences or something. Break it up, make it readable. And I follow the guidelines as far as, okay, it's telling me I need more XYZ. So then I might add some, I might not if I think that I've done a good enough job. The thing is, this is just a computer program. It's basically counting the words and going, meh. Oh, ugh. So that's the other thing. I've gotten a red light before because I was one character away from the optimum that they wanted. You know how much Google's going to care about one character? It's not. But there has to be a line somewhere, right? To say whether or not this is a green light or not. And so that's where Yoast places it at the ideal number that Google wants for a title. Great, perfect. But if yours isn't the ideal number, does it matter? No. Google doesn't even use our titles anymore. Like there was a huge period where it started just rewriting titles because it gathers what it wants to you about your post, and that's what and then it knows what it's about, and that's what it puts on the index, and that is what it shows people. So that's my rant about SEO plugins. So use it as a tool. Like every single weight loss seller, marketer, person out there, use it as a tool. Don't how they always talk about a scale. Don't make or break or live or die or whatever on that light. So I hope that helps. Don't forget to get the ebook on my site. You just go to wpbarista.com/SEO. So it should be easy. I will leave it in the comments, and thank you for listening. I hope I see you next week, and leave questions and we'll cover whatever topic you have questions on. Thank you. Drive safe. Bye, Laura. Okay, stop. Stop. Bye. Hi, Larry. Did you have a question? I'm just wrapping up. I have over here my Instagram because I can't stream off of it, off of this very cool little platform. But if you don't have a question, that's it. You can go back and watch the recording. We talked all about SEO. So I hope you have a fabulous week. You are live. Okay, stop.